to show you how to make a chicken gnocchi soup, but vegan. So the first thing we're going to do is we got to soak our cashews. So we're going to use about a half a cup of cashews. It's kind of a heaping cup. I'm just going to let this soak for a while. If you are low on time, you can use boiling water and it'll get done a lot faster, but I'm doing this a few hours in advance because I have time. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out our seasonings and put them in a bowl just so it's easier to assemble when it's time. I'm doing 1/4 cup of Gnocchi. That's going to add a cheesy flavor to this. I'm also adding a teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of garlic powder. And we're going to set that aside because the dried herbs we're going to be using, we're actually wanting to keep them whole, and those other seasonings are going to get blended up. So we're going to put these in a separate thing to hold them. All right, we're doing a teaspoon of dried thyme, and we're doing a half a teaspoon of oregano, and a half a teaspoon of dried basil. We are also going to set 2 little bay leaves on top for when we start cooking the soup. All right, I'm going to just roughly chop up this onion. It doesn't really matter because it's going to get sauteed and then blended into the cashew cream we're going to make. And then I'm going to cut the top off of this garlic, put it in some foil with a little bit of olive oil, and roast it because we're going to add that to the sauce as well. And there is our roughly chopped up onion, and I cut the top off the garlic. Now we're just going to drizzle on some olive oil on there. Really get it into the garlic. That's what we want. We want it to get in there. And then you just want to wrap it up like this, all cute. And I'm actually going to stick mine in my air fryer. I'm going to cook it at 450 for 20 minutes. I'm going to saute the onion now. We added like about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the pan. And we're going to add just a little bit of salt to the onions, just a tidge. And we're going to turn this on medium heat and really brown these onions up. Our onions are looking perfect. We're going to go ahead and dump these in our blender. All right, so now I'm getting ready to cook the gnocchi. So I'm actually only going to boil this gnocchi for like 2 minutes. So once this starts boiling, I'm going to add the gnocchi. I am going to salt this water still. There's not a lot in here because I'm not planning on leaving them in there long, but I'm going to boil them for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to switch them over to the skillet that we just made our onions in and pan fry them for 5 to 10 minutes. Like that we roasted earlier today, it should be cooled off enough that we can squeeze it into the blender with the onions. All right, our water is already boiling. That's why I didn't put that much in there, that we could boil quickly. Go ahead and carefully dump your gnocchi in. I'm just going to break it up a little bit, because basically I'm just trying to soften this. Like I said, we're only going to cook it for 2 minutes, and then we're going to switch it over to our skillet. So we want to make sure that we've got a good amount of oil in the skillet. I'm talking, 2 tablespoons at least, but I'm going to go for more like 4 tablespoons. Because we really don't want the gnocchi to stick. All right, we're going to drain it, and then we're going to pan fry it. Just go ahead and add it right to the pan. There is some water off the gnocchi, so it might sputter, so be careful. And we want to kind of get all of these into a flat layer if we can, if possible. And we want to just leave them alone. We're cooking this on a medium heat. And we're just going to try to leave it alone so it gets browned. We're going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients. This is our powdered seasonings that are going to get blended. We're going to add that in to the blender with the onions and garlic. And then we're going to drain our cashews and go ahead and add the cashews in. We're also going to add in a cup of broth. For this, I'm going to be using the Better Than bouillon. I'm going to add a teaspoon to this measuring cup and then a cup of boiling hot water. So the gnocchi, after it's set for a little bit, go ahead and try to flip it. If you let it set long enough, you should not have the sticking. I have a couple stick over here. But you can see like where it has been cooked and where it hasn't. It's like slightly golden brown. Mine's got a little bit of frond on it from when I did the onions. But yeah, we're trying to just get these a little bit crispy. It's basically going to change the texture of the gnocchi to make them more chewy. We're also going to add like just a tablespoon of lemon juice into the mixture. All right, now we're adding in our broth. Perfect. So now we're going to cook our vegan chicken. I know this is a very oil heavy, this is a very fatty dish, but another 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna open our packs of the tofurkey chicken, and then it's kind of like in a chunk like this, so we're gonna want to crumble it into the pan. And we're gonna cook this on a medium-low heat. And this vegan chicken we're using is already lightly seasoned, so we're actually not gonna add any season to this. We're just gonna cook it a little bit to get some color on it. It's finally time to make the soup. So I put 5 cups of water in this pan. I'm going to add 5 teaspoons of my Better Than Bouillon chicken base. And I have this set to a medium heat. Yeah, medium heat. We're just going to let this heat up. All right, and the chicken has got some color on it, so we're going to turn that off. It's finally time to blend our cashew cream, guys. I'm so excited. And we are just gonna carefully add that cream in here. Nice and easy, a little bit at a time. Beautiful. All right, we're gonna turn that heat down just a little bit. Stir this in. Get it to incorporate nicely. Looks nice and creamy, which is what we want. Now we're going to add in our vegan chicken. And then we'll stir that in. Very nice. Look at that. And now the gnocchi. Alright, mix that in. It looks so good. I wish I had some fresh basil for it. That would be even better. So now, those dried herbs and the bay leaves that we reserved, we're going to go ahead and dump that in and mix it in there, because we are going to let this simmer for a little bit and really come together. And we'll need to do a taste test, make sure it is salty enough. After letting this simmer for about 15 minutes, we're going to remove the bay leaves. Now the soup, we're going to take over the top by grating in some vegan Parmesan. I grated about a half a cup of vegan parm into here, but you can grate however much you want. And there it is, guys. Look at how beautiful this looks. It's creamy. I must be on a creamy soup kick lately, but look at that. Beautiful. And some quick garlic bread to go on the side.